Ooh.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to SNSN
Was
for a Thursday morning. We're on the road.
Yes.
We're on the sidewalk.
Very nice. Very nice.
We're on the sidewalk here at Griswold Middle School. We're not really well,
You're facing the
on
brick.
the road. Yeah, facing the brick, but we are right in the backdrop of the entire Griswold School campus right now, in front of the Griswold Middle School courtyard, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's the front entrance.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we can see all of the other, both other schools. We can see the high school to our right, and also the elementary school to our left. The I love this school, this campus, because everything is right here. You know,
Mhm.
Anybody that wants to or is thinking about sending their kids or moving to Griswold, they have the luxury of having everything in one school complex all together. So there's not a lot of running around. So if you have more than one child, you're not driving, one kid off at the high school
Yeah,
and one kid off halfway across town at the elementary school. So
that's great.
uh, it's it's very unique. There's not many towns that actually offer this. You
None
know
that I can
the
even think of besides Griswold, right?
No,
At least on this
I
side of the
can't
state.
either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
I know in North Stonington, they're right across the street, but you got to cross Route 2 unless you go under the underbridge.
well, let's see. Stonington High is like by itself, and the middle school down the road.
No, I'm saying North Stonington.
Oh, North Stonington?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Stonington, North Stonington, whatever.
Zip codes, taxes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. School
Whatever.
districts.
It's kind of like Pawcatuck Light, but but it ain't Montville, is it?
No.
Rich? No.
No.
Well, that's another one. Montville High School is all by itself.
Yeah, I mean they got the Fair Oaks across the street. We used to be an elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's a rec department.
Right. But see, right here, we're at the middle school. To get to the high school, you got to cross a rolling lawn.
Actually, Montville High has the junior high in the back now. It's at the top of the hill. Middle school.
Is it?
Yeah, the middle school is, but the elementary schools are spread all around town. You're like 20 minutes away from each one.
See, now a lot of people will remember, I am sure, that the middle school used to be the high school.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I knew that. I obviously
This was my high school.
not here. Yeah, but I knew
This
that.
was my high school right
Yeah.
here. A lot of memories here. A lot of good things, a lot of not so good things. But that's what happens when you're growing up. So,
Flushies.
huh?
Flushies.
No. I never got a flushy or a swirly or any of that kind of stuff. I was kind of a big kid anyway,
Mhm.
so I didn't know if some of the little pukey seniors,
Yep.
figured I'd beat them up,
Okay.
or whatever. But
That works.
I had senior friends though,
Cool.
right off the bat.
Mhm.
So they liked Manosk.
Good. Manosk.
I don't know why. I was just a kid.
Manosk.
So, but it was good, and like matter of fact, this right here where we are,
Mhm.
was kind of like where everybody would hang out
Okay.
after lunch.
Smoking lounge.
Yeah, I guess you could say
Yeah.
that. I was trying to say that without saying that,
Oh,
but now they got bikes.
health and fitness now.
Yeah, and they remodeled it. They put a new wing on it. But anyway,
That's nice.
I digress. We are here at the Griswold Middle School, and the reason that we are here today is because of it's International Overdose Awareness Day. And there are going to be some folks here today that are going to be speaking just a couple of minutes, a little bit later on, about things that have been done with a local organization which we know called Griswold Pride, headed up by Miranda Mahoney. So I believe Sean McKenna, the superintendent of schools, is going to go ahead and speak for a couple of minutes. I believe Miranda is going to speak, and then the guest of honor they are bringing in today is Senator Richard Blumenthal, and I guess he has a couple of announcements that will affect Griswold.
Okay.
So we don't quite know what they are yet, but that's kind of why we're here, to find out what it is, and to get that information out, to people right away, or at least as quick as possible.
Mhm.
Because that's kind of what we do. Like the debate the other night.
Yeah, that was good.
So you weren't. Did you watch it? Because you weren't here.
No, we had
You weren't doing the, I say here, but in the
no,
studio.
I was in town, but we had the meeting at the firehouse, and then we all adjourned from the meeting and watched it on the big screen in the bay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you something. There were a lot of people that tuned in to that debate. Just from it's. I don't know if this is fair to ask you, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Sure.
What did you think? What did you think of the candidates? And I know you are a member of the RTC.
Yeah.
I mean, but we kind of got to have to be no, not you, but I'm talking about when we're
in general,
In general, SNSN tries to
I think it was
down the middle, but we all have opinions.
I think it was very informative.
Yeah. Okay.
I think for not a public speaker, I think he did a great job.
And you're talking about Wayne Malin.
Wayne Malin, yeah.
I thought so too. Yeah.
It was very good. Both gave their points of view. You could tell they both believed what they were saying, but it was very.
But the big thing was anybody
Informative.
else believing what they were saying? That's the real key.
Yes, I've talked to a lot of people. I won't because we have to be
sure
neutral here. But I got numbers and what some people believed, and they all thought it was a very good debate.
Yeah,
Informative. Those things are important when you're trying to learn what each person believes and why you should vote for either one.
So I always, it's always fun for me to go on social media after we do something like that, because you get things like, I didn't know there was a debate.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't knock on my door and tell me. So. But actually, doors were knocked on and they were told.
So we have a comment from Patricia. I think this is in reference to us just being out on the road, and she says refreshing.
Yes,
and it is refreshing.
It is. We
out
got the
here.
Beautiful lawn being mowed in front of us.
Nice
clear sky for the most part.
Yeah, it's John Henn up there on the zero turn.
Yeah.
My allergies will be kicking in about 4 minutes.
Yep, mine too. Beautiful flags waving in the background.
Ooh, I'm already getting it.
Are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Stop sniffing. You won't have
I'm not doing it on purpose. But if I start sneezing, then we know. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. I mean, there's some wispy clouds up in the sky. It's definitely kind of cool, not being in the studio, but kind of just being out here.
Should do in the parking lot from now on.
I was just gonna say, why don't we just pick a place and go out there every day?
Yeah, pick a different place.
Yeah, where could we go tomorrow? It's Friday. Are you gonna be here tomorrow?
I can be so far.
Okay, good.
Yeah, stay tuned. So far, I can always
so
say
it continues. We can still call the show Mike and Awasalik.
I got a couple places I can think of.
Where?
We could do either firehouse parking lot right in front.
Yeah.
We could do.
Why did I knew you were going to say that?
Well, I mean, just in general. Then we could do that sunflower place, so people can see the farms.
Oh,
Buttonwoods
Buttonwoods
areas.
Are the sunflowers out right now, or are they cow poop?
All I know is you pick a sunflower, the cow craps on it, and whatever. But
Scott Fryer says, my driveway.
Don't know where that is, but yeah,
that's Scott's house.
Yeah, wherever that is. Sorry, I don't stalk you. So
no. Jennifer says, what about the gazebo?
What gazebo? Oh, down in the park. Trying to think of a gazebo. Oh, down in the park. Yeah, that's a nice place.
Down in the park.
Yeah, that's a nice place. If you can get Wi-Fi or signal down there.
Oh yeah. Well, whenever I do things with Ryan Aubin, in Parks and Rec, usually I'm set up in the gazebo, and
that's a nice place.
Yeah, have.
I don't know what the weather is.
We should do this more because it doesn't take much to set this stuff
it's
up.
Quicker than the office almost.
I know, and less problems.
Yeah,
and less problems.
Plug and play.
God. Yeah, it really it is.
On the roof. That'd be pretty cool.
So let's there's a comment about the debate. Daryl from the Healthy Computer, School Street, Jewett City, right next to the. right next to the dog groomer. Hair of the dog.
Say cat groomer, but
do cats get groomed?
They groom themselves, I think. Yeah. Okay. Raspy tongues.
So, I watched it yesterday. Daryl says, and the last comment by Dana was really off-putting. That is
what? I don't remember, honestly. I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
It was with like 4
You know what? I didn't see the very, very, very end.
It was like the last literal 4 seconds of the debate that Mrs. Bennett had, and she had said that she felt there was a conflict of interest between Wayne Malin running for first selectman with his wife, Mary Beth Malin, who's been on our show many times, who I have the utmost respect for.
Yeah.
And saying that because she's on the board of education.
Chairman. Chairman.
She's the chair. And so that was the first selectman's opinion.
Yeah.
So, but that was
my opinion on that if you want.
What's that?
I can give my opinion.
Go ahead.
on that.
Go ahead. Sure.
I'd have to respectfully disagree because the Board of Ed chairman and the Board of Ed do not get their finances decided on by the Board of Selectmen. It's decided on by the Board of Finance.
Yeah, they're totally separate entities.
Totally separate. Two separate legal governments, technically by law.
Yeah.
So one does not make decisions for the other, and when a decision has to be made, they sit down as boards, not just individuals, and make decisions. So there's checks and balances in place, and as well on the other side of that, if people want to say that, then more people got to volunteer to be in these positions.
Right.
There's multiple couples and I can speak of one I know very well.
Yeah,
that
you.
Yeah, you. That were on different boards.
The Select Power Company.
Yeah. So, I'd have to disagree with that. It's just simple. And if there have instances where you can recuse yourself from,
and that's happened many times in the past, like
Tina and Todd, right?
Todd Babbitt when he was the first selectman, and Tina, of course, the senior center director. There were many times during Board of Selectmen meetings, special meetings, that when they were talking about the building of the new senior center, right? And folks, by the way, we also know that Tina Falk is running for first selectman, so this isn't about that. This is just about the situation.
No, not at all.
Right? I know. So because a lot of people go, now you're promoting Tina. And it's like, well, no, this is just
facts.
something, huh?
Just giving facts.
Just giving facts. That I have seen Todd recuse himself because, like I said, the senior center was still being built. The senior center building committee was still, in effect, and I think it still is actually, but back when they were still making decisions. And I've seen times where Tina would recuse herself as well, and step out of the room or whatever. So, and it's difficult.
And if that's the case, that's the case too. Her husband is on planning and zoning. So there's developments being talked about, and they're both in an influence of each other when there's decisions being made, but there's no recusal there. So
it's funny. A couple of teachers walk out and they look at us like, "What the hell are they doing here?"
How are you?
Is it PE day?
That's it.
What are you guys setting up? Oh, can I play? I can't run.
But her husband's on planning and zoning. So there's, you can't really claim that side either. So it's kind of a misnomer that. Well, it'll be a conflict of interest.
I think one of the things is that to your point is that there are going to be lots of couples.
You can't get around it. Yeah.
No, there's no way. Or family units.
Yeah.
Let's look at for example, in the school system. I know. Let's see. Lori Sorter was on the Board of Education for some time. Of course, her daughter. Do you know who her daughter is?
I've heard, but I don't remember.
Aaron Pallone.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the principal of the high school.
Yes.
And before
Very
that,
professional, nice lady. Yeah.
right. But before that, she was the head of special education, ran the alt school.
Okay.
And everything before she became the principal of the high school. 5 years ago now. Okay. 5, 6. I think this may be her 5th year.
So I would know. I've only known her from the high school. That would be why then.
Right. But let's go a little step further, where Lori's sister was the director of curriculum, just one step under being a superintendent, and she became the interim superintendent for a while.
Wow.
While they were looking for a superintendent, who they eventually filled with Mr. McKenna.
Okay.
So here are people, and we can even go further and say, people, that were in the athletic department that were part of that family. It's always been like that, especially with the Drobiaks. I mean, Mrs. P. Drobiak, Mrs. A. Drobiak. I mean, the Drobiaks have been, a fixture in education, within Griswold,
obviously
Griswold
done
Public
well.
Schools. Yeah. And so when you hear stuff like that, it's like these people are serving the public, and they're serving it well. You're not going to hear it. Like you won't hear me, complain about Dana Bennett and Dave Bennett. I think it's wonderful that Dave's also on a board as well.
Yeah.
And Dana is serving the town as for selectman.
That's it. You can't complain about someone's volunteering their time to
Right.
serve the community, and
you can't get around it. You can't get around it. We have 11,500 people in Griswold,
right,
or maybe a little more. What about the power company, the Wassailak Warriors?
Yeah, that's it.
So
if she was to be running something and I was to be involved somehow and I had a vote in some way, I'd have to recuse myself, or she would, one or the other.
Right.
That's just a respectful thing to do. Not only that, but it's expected, and that's all.
Yeah.
But you can't get around small town politics where you're going to have family members involved all the way around. It's impossible.
Exactly. I mean, but it's even in larger towns too. I mean, the whole nepotism.
Look at the federal government right now with the Biden and his son and this and that.
Yeah.
You can't. It's reason you have to give all your information when you're going to be having some kind of power.
Exactly. So I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that. I thought that was just being picayune and taking it. Yeah. Just because I'm just like we broke it down right here, right? Small town. Multiple members of a family that are going ahead and taking part in the community. I think they should be commended.
That's just going to say something to be honored. I think not put down.
Right. What do you guys think in the chat room? How do you feel about this? And if you got something snarky to say, make damn sure. Well, you're one of the.
Mine is quiet on this side.
Yeah, you're one of the volunteers. So, because you know what it is, it's always the ones that that don't volunteer, that are just kind of sitting around eating bonbons.
The back door. Yeah.
They go, well, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Not even from here. That's the.
Or you're not even from Griswold, right? So, but I don't see any comments. So what they thought, what do you think about? I mean, we're right in the firing zone too. I mean, we're right in the middle of Griswold Griswold Public Schools.
Sniper.
Right now. Yeah. Don't even go there.
Sniper on the roof. Yeah.
No. There's Miranda Mahoney showing up.
You see Cortland Kinney, another guy that gives a lot of time to the town planning and zoning and other things. Let's see, he just popped in. Hi, Courtney.
Did you call him Courtney?
Yeah, by accident. I was thinking Cortland. I was thinking it's driving by female. But no, there's a lot of. But a debate I thought was very well run, very well put together, very well managed, and I think both.
Janice did a wonderful job. Janice did a wonderful job.
Yep.
And there were some people that were against that.
No, I think it was beforehand thinking, and now they were proving that it was. No, it was done well. I think both had a chance to give their answers, and both had a chance to have rebuttals. And
the questions were.
One thing I did like too. I'm sorry. Was both were respectful to each other. I don't see any kind of biting or yelling or like on the national TV networks and stuff where they're yelling at each other and stuff like that. But
I do
parts
think
that I saw, at least, they were.
I think there was a little choke in the back on a couple of things,
Okay.
but I just would put my head down because I was there controlling the cameras and stuff. But
I think you're gonna have a disagreement. That's the whole point of the thing.
Well, I wasn't going to. One thing I didn't want to do is I didn't want to look at a candidate, and while they were speaking, shake my head up and down like yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah.
No, because that would show some sort of then the other candidate goes,
why are you doing that?
Why are you favoring that person? So I would just kind of look down and stuff like that. Janice did the same thing because Janice was off camera as well.
Yes.
And we would look at each other a couple of times and we would go like what the heck?
I mean, I didn't see anything that was insulting or disrespectful to the other. I think they're going to disagree, which is the whole point of the process.
Yes.
And you give your answers and people agree with your answer or they don't. So I mean, there was a lot of feedback at the firehouse I saw. There was a lot of feedback from other people around the town that I got, and it was all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So.
And I do want to give kudos to a young lady that was there at the debate. She was the 5th person in the room. The timekeeper. And the timekeeper, here comes Miranda. She's walking down the street singing doo-wah diddy diddy. Never mind. I don't even know why I said that. Miranda, here I am going. Here she is walking down the street. Doo-wah diddy diddy dum diddy doo.
Well, she can use the mic now.
Yeah. You gonna join us?
There's a chair and
you're here. We even got a chair for you and a microphone. She's like, oh crap.
You want the middle or the end?
You want the middle or an end cut?
She's still thinking.
Here, we'll give this to you. Make sure this is. Oh,
time out.
Oh, it's all right, time out. So yeah, as far as the debate is concerned, while we have a little break in the action here, I gotta give kudos to the young lady that was also in the room, the 5th person. That would be Megan. Megan was our timekeeper, and she was unaffiliated with either side, or I mean, with the Republican. She's not affiliated, period. And next thing you know, she got pushed into this timekeeper position, and she remained 100% focused through the entire thing. And that's hard. It was like an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
But when you're running the time, and you got to make sure each candidate knows by tapping the table or whatever that they are just about done with their time.
I like the cutoff mic maneuver.
I did tell them that.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I said,
I think that's more effective than anything else.
Yeah, I said, I said, I looked right at both candidates and I said, you will be notified by the timekeeper, but if you refuse to stop talking, I will cut your microphone off.
Good. That's
what I said.
Like Cortland put a message in there.
Huh?
Cortland put a message in there.
Yes. So that's
Didn't read the whole thing, but.
There are many. Let's see. There are many boards. There are many people on boards that have no other family members on, or any boards, or no other family members on any boards or employed, I guess, in the town. It is up to the individual to decide if there is a need to recuse oneself. There can also be business connections, not just personal reasons.
And there's always connections in the background somewhere too.
Yeah. Hey, let's get in here. Let's move Miranda in so she can. There she is. Hello, Miranda.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Giddy up.
So you're like the whole reason why really, we're here today. I mean, well, you're the one that
Griswold Pride, yes, is the reason why we're here today.
She wore a sunflower sweater too.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. I wish I had purple, because purple is the color for International Overdose Awareness Day,
which is today.
Today. Yep, August 31st. And it's an international, not just national, international, which is cool. So people all over the world are celebrating and honoring those we've lost to overdose, and taking action to make a change to end overdose. And that's why we're here today.
Is there a special reason for today, or is it just the day they picked?
This is the day. Yeah, this is just the international day they picked. And
Okay.
you know, some organizations nationally will do overdose awareness week. So there's been events going on all week, but there are a ton of events happening all over. I know Eastern Connecticut today, but I'm sure throughout the country. But a lot of candlelight vigils, community conversations, you know, just events honoring the day. And the theme this year is We See You. And that's to really acknowledge how overdose doesn't just impact the person that, you know, was lost to the disease, but it impacts their family, the community, the first responders, you know, the nurses in the hospitals. Like it impacts everybody. And that is a theme that we acknowledge them too in the work that they've put into this and how it's impacted their own mental health.
So, did you have something? You were shaking your head, so I thought maybe you had a.
No, I was just going through my head as usual. I think there's been an uptick lately, hasn't there? I've noticed
It always seems like there is an
Is it like ebbs and flows?
yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
When you say, yeah. Lately, I I mean, with fentanyl making its way into everything, you just never know, you know. You might I'm because we have access. Well, I have access as part of Uncas Health District's opioid task force. I have access to a mapping system that can track overdoses in real time as they're entered in by the first responders. And so, you know, we'll see over a weekend, we might see an uptick that, you know, it was all crack or cocaine, you know. So there was a bad product on the street laced with fentanyl, caused a bunch of overdoses over the weekend. So like that's where we utilize the data to kind of alert first responders, alert recovery coaches, people who are actively using substances that this is what's going on. Test your product, have Narcan, be safe if you're going to use.
So, let me ask you about Griswold Pride a little bit. I mean, I know the answers to these, but you know, a lot of people, you know, don't. You know, especially if this is their first time tuning in today. Griswold Pride is really kind of started as a spinoff of Putnam Pride.
Right. So Putnam Pride had drug-free communities funding, which is the federal funding from ONDCP and now the CDC, and they fund coalitions across the country to do youth substance use prevention. So Putnam had been working up there for a while. I was working under a state grant for community health resources, helping Putnam. I think it was 2014. Griswold lost, you know, a very popular 18-year-old student to an overdose, and the first selectman at the time said, "We got to do something." We contacted them up in Putnam. We said, "This is what we're doing." The whole ties there was that I'm from Griswold, and I wasn't living in Griswold at the time, but I was like, "We got to do something." So we reached out to the first selectman, and bam, we got started, got rolling. Our first meeting was in February 2015.
And that was Kevin Skolchek.
Yeah. Yep.
That started that.
Yep. And then now here we are.
So, at that point, it was considered what, a coalition?
Yeah, so we're a drug-free communities funded coalition right now. Our funding ends actually the end of this September. So the end of the month, our funding ends. We reapplied for a grant through the CDC and ONDCP to go for a second round of drug-free communities funding, and we're just waiting to find that out.
So you were approved for 5 years, and now you're you're hoping to see that you get
another round of 5 years.
Okay.
But then that maxes out. So the point of like drug-free communities funding is you got to make yourself sustainable. We're going to give you, 5 to 10 years of funding, but you got to make yourself sustainable within those 5 to 10 years. On how are you going to do that? And what we've done really here in Griswold is we've just kind of integrated prevention into every aspect of the school. We've integrated prevention into town committees now with public health and safety. We have community action team. And so that is how we're going to make ourselves sustainable without funding. I mean, hopefully with all the opioid settlement dollars and everything getting funneled into prevention, treatment, harm reduction, hopefully we'll be able to keep Griswold Pride, actively funded for years and years. But in the event that we don't, if there's ever a gap year in funding, we know that prevention will still happen here because the schools are doing it and our town committees are doing it.
Now, there was just an announcement. Wasn't a whole bunch of opioid prevention money that was announced?
So the opioid settlement dollars are actively
This is like in the last couple of weeks. That was announced.
No,
Was
it's
it
been longer than that,
no?
right?
The settlement dollars, is that what you're talking
Yeah, I remember it was an email that you had sent,
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
so the opioid settlement dollars are from the class action lawsuit against Big Pharma, basically, and they'll be being funneled into towns for the next, I think, like 15 to 20 years. Griswold has received so far about $35,000.
Does that come to you or to the town?
It goes to the town. The Board of Selectmen decide what they want to do with it. Right now, it's sitting in they've decided to let Griswold Pride figure it out. We have, harm reduction, we have treatment, we have prevention, recovery, we have all that on our coalition. So we're kind of working to see where that money would best be utilized.
That's separate from the other money they were seeking.
That's separate. Yeah. So that is the opioid settlement dollars is like a huge amount of money. And the towns across the country that signed on automatically get the top 15% of the total of the opioid settlement dollars. The rest of the money, that 85%, will be available to go for other organizations. I think they call it abatement. So other organizations can pitch a plan and go after that money. Our state hasn't determined how that's going to work out completely yet, but they have a really good grasp on making sure it's going to go into the right hands and not just get funneled into, road repairs or something stupid.
And they have to report back on how that money is spent during the process.
Not that road repairs are stupid. I'm saying opioid settlement dollars need to go.
Yeah, they're separate on.
Yeah, I think we figured that out. Yeah. Roads are stupid.
And I can see it being twisted. But you have to report later on how that money is spent and if it was spent and everything else, right?
Yeah. I say screw. Let's go back to horse and buggy days.
Yeah, man.
It was more fun. No? Nobody believes me. I think it'd be fun. There's still a law in the books in the borough.
Yes.
What is it? You can't
ride a horse after a certain amount.
Or faster than a car can go on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's still on the books. So anybody wants to go ahead and mess their car around.
Is there any plan in the future with how that's going to be done right now?
So right now,
definite.
Yeah. So right now, we're trying to launch. We have so many services in town, and that is because of our coalition. I will totally take credit for our coalition on bringing in services, because what the whole point of a coalition, no matter what your mission is, you bring together people from different community sectors to work together towards a common goal. You look at what resources everybody can provide, and look at where you have gaps in services.
Right. The
and
key is working together.
Correct. Yeah. And so we looked at our resources. We had treatment. We had UCFS treatment. We had harm reduction going on with perception programs. We had, recovery.
With perception? Okay, all right.
Sorry. I'm just saying, like, in general. So
right.
We have, Matt's mission doing recovery and family support. We had Griswold Pride with prevention. We were missing a big piece, which is post-overdose outreach. So that is reaching out to a surviving victim of an overdose or their family members after an overdose, providing them with recovery coach and resources to meet them where they're at. A lot of towns do it with, a paid police force or paid fire. And, that was a big challenge for us because we didn't have that in town. So I heard about this program that was going on. It's a pilot program out of South Carolina through a national overdose response email listserv that I'm on. And they use cell phones after an overdose. So after an overdose, care package is with the survivor that includes a prepaid and programmed cell phone, along with Narcan and other resources. A recovery will contact that cell phone after the overdose to attempt to make communication with them and provide them what they need, whether it's treatment, harm reduction, resources, or whatever. But so we're hoping to get that started here in Griswold. We have partners with American Ambulance. We have partners with Reliance Health to provide the recovery coach. And we're working on implementing that. We're running into a lot of technicalities with the whole pre-programmed cell phones or prepaid cell phones. That is our last thing to do to get this out and rolling. But we are working on it, and we will get it done, and we'll eventually have post-overdose outreach here, and that's all going to be coming from our opioid settlement dollars.
What's the pushback on the cell phones?
It's a lot. It's just technicality stuff. They all have to have an email associated with each track phone. It's so I can. The track phones cards are only good for a month, there's no guarantee that phone will be handed out in a month's time. And
right.
Reactivate it, and So there's, just those technicalities, which I'm sure there's a system for. I just don't know yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. If anybody's out there that
being in that industry for quite some time, I understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
So yeah.
So yeah, if anybody has any, insights into this, please let me know.
That's a good question. That really is, because I worked in cell phones for quite some time. And
you have to do it right at the moment of the overdose.
Mm-hmm.
Do up the email.
Yeah,
Matt's mission 1, Matt's mission 2.
I mean, that somebody would like
something.
Yeah, like maybe the harm reduction counselor.
Yeah,
can activate it at the time.
I mean, I would love to see this program take off and not be a Griswold thing, because I'm prevention and this is kind of out of my realm, but I'm happy to help, of course, with anything overdose response in our town. But it would kind of make sense for when this abatement money becomes available. This would be a great program for a recovery coach program to go after. So it kind of makes sense like that.
One of the things that I know we've talked about before, I think last time that you came into the studio, there's a lot of the treatment, or a lot of the, I guess maybe the response now is shifting more so to harm reduction.
Right.
And that's what, I noticed that a lot of the services that are available, like the Matt van, or the syringe exchange. It seems like that it's going more towards that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So harm reduction is a strategy that has been used for a long, long, long time, and seatbelts are harm reduction. So sunscreen is harm reduction. So this is just a take on that, and it's no different than thinking like that. I know it gets a lot of scrutiny, a lot of, it's kind of controversial subject to talk about.
What, the harm
reduction, but it saves lives. It saves lives, connection with the person actively using substances, and hopefully one day they will be like, okay, today's the day, I'm ready. But in the meantime, harm reduction will keep them safe and alive, until that day is their day is ready.
Now, to me, that makes sense. It's like you're giving somebody the biggest possible opportunity to go ahead and say, oh, like you just said, today I'm ready.
Yeah.
Or they can realize, and you'll see what I did here. What I'm doing here today, I matter. So like there's an organization called Today I Matter. And I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Sure. So John Lally founded Today I Matter. He lost his son to an overdose. And it's kind of cool because this is a Connecticut agency, nonprofit. However, they are like national. And if you've ever seen the Matt's Mission Celebrates Recovery event, you've walked through the posters.
Yes.
You've walked through the poster project.
I've posted them.
And it is that. So that is Today I Matter. Today I Matter is the
It's
poster
heart-wrenching.
project. And there's a lot of local people in those posters, and it is heart-wrenching to walk through that.
There are some that are not there.
And there's a lot that aren't there, and it's very, very powerful and impactful, I think, to put a face with, it's somebody's son, it's somebody's daughter, it's somebody's mother, it's somebody's father. Like, that person was a person. They weren't a druggie. They were a person, and that is very important to even think about. That they were a person to someone. So don't just sweep them under the rug. Talk about it, break that stigma, and that's why we're here today.
Yeah. A couple of comments. Let's see here. Peggy, who is actually in Utah, said, "Thank you, Miranda. I brought that idea to our state," and I'm thinking she's talking about harm reduction, where I heard you speak about it last time.
Thank you. Wow.
So Miranda, you're worldwide now. Jen Gothy, I'm going to read this to you because Jen always writes a thesis. It's not just, "Hey, Miranda, thanks. Love, Jen." No. No. Let me read this for you. How much time you got? So, Miranda, from someone whose life has been affected by addiction, I appreciate your willingness to reduce the stigma surrounding addiction by providing resources and meeting people where they are at. The shame, the guilt is real, and folks are so afraid to reach out or have limited resources to find out what they need. kudos to you and your coalition. Thank you. You are saving lives every day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Heart love emoji. No emoji. I just put that in there. There was no emoji. But I knew what she meant though. So, Kathy Duffy. Oh, Peggy's talking about the phones.
Oh, okay. The phones. I love it.
Okay. Kathy, wish I could be there today. Thank you for all remembering individuals and families impacted by addiction. Harm reduction saves lives.
People who are in a harm reduction program are 5 times more likely to seek treatment services. 5 times.
That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
And we're hearing from people right now that we know have been affected by overdose, and like John Lally, right? He started his organization based off of a tragedy.
Right. And
Kathy Duffy also, it's just in town. And I mention it because I know she talks about it. Matt's mission, who just happens to be in the same building I'm at. Yeah. So, and I love Kathy.
John Lally actually did a whole documentary on his program. He put them out at the National Capitol, the lawn there. And there's a whole documentary about it. It's pretty amazing.
Is he from the side of the state?
I think he's from the center of the state somewhere. I can't remember, but he makes his way. Yeah, he makes his way to Jewett City yearly for the Celebrate Recovery event, which unfortunately isn't happening this year, but hopefully we can bring it back another year.
Why aren't we doing it this year? Is that a question for another time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So later on today or soon, because right now it's about 10 minutes of 10. We have a guest coming to speak. There's going to be a few. I believe you're going to speak. You're one.
Yeah.
Superintendent Sean McKenna, and then Senator Richard Blumenthal. So, and that's all going to be here at Griswold Middle School out here we just kind of picked a spot. We have no idea where the podium is going to go. And neither did they. They went, we don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They nobody, I don't.
Office didn't even know I would come. Oh,
that's all right.
We'll put it wherever his team wants it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like where we can get a good camera shot.
Stand right there.
Yeah.
The flag in the background with the sky.
Oh,
look, walking in the background. I picked it up.
Well, we can have the Star Spangled Banner being played. Yeah. No, too much, too soon.
You can sing.
No. That's not going to happen.
I heard you were doing that.
No. No. Okay. Oh, say no. God, we want to keep the listeners and viewers we have. Man. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful day.
It is a wonderful day.
It's a perfect day to have this event outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you contacted me about this, first thing I did after we got off the phone, check the weather.
Yeah. Well, we checked the weather too before we said we were doing it outside. So.
You should do it on the track.
Well, that was a thought, but probably there were reasons why it shouldn't be on the big field.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm gonna do after we leave here? I'm gonna go over and look at. I'm gonna drive over there and look at that scoreboard.
It's nice. I saw it the other day.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, we were pre-planning for the opening ceremonies.
Yeah. So that's that. I want to go over and see that.
Yeah.
So
pretty nice.
There's so many things that are going on right now in our little town. Between Griswold Pride happens all the time. There are Griswold Pride has things that are always happening. And for example, the website griswoldpride.org. Do you know what Pride stands for? I do. I'm not looking at her because I know she knows.
It's a long acronym.
It's a word to me. I don't know.
Pride.
Yeah.
It's the partnership to reduce the partnership to reduce the influence of drugs for everyone.
Okay.
Yep. We just stole that right from Putnam.
Oh, that's
right.
Said,
why recreate the wheel? Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Yep.
And then Wyndham did the same thing. So there's Wyndham Pride.
Sons of
Wyndham Pride too.
Now, are they also federally funded?
So they cycle
Or are they a
through.
coalition off of you?
Listen, no,
All
they're
right,
not.
all
No,
right,
they've been
all
around
right.
for a
Whoa,
while. They
whoa, whoa,
cycled
whoa,
out
whoa.
of. Well, no, I'm going to tell you why. They cycled out of their 10 years of funding.
Okay.
The town took such an investment in their work. They said, we're working you into our town budget. And now they are into their town budget, which is the goal of coalitions. Is that realistic here in Griswold? I don't think so. Unfortunately.
It could be if we had some economic development.
Yeah.
You know, that could be. And
what's the wording?
It's
If
a
you build
necessity.
it, they will come.
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
You know, I really believe that this is a necessity, just like, you know, having an urgent care facility. You know, it's the same thing. You know, just we're not fixing cuts and bruises.
Yeah. What builds towns?
Huh?
What builds towns?
Community.
How are you going to build a community?
Cash.
Building on the kids, the elderly, and economic development.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Which kind of what? Because the school's just in business for the, you know, what am I doing? Am I messing with your cord here? I'm sorry.
It's the old adage: if you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come. I know a while ago, years ago, when Griswold Pride first started, there was talk of building it into the budget. Now this is 10 years.
2015 was our first meeting.
Years. Okay.
Well, how much would it cost?
So the grant we're working off of now is $125,000 per year, and that basically funds full-time coordinator, including benefits and all that. And so let me be very specific. So the town of Griswold does not receive the grant.
Yep.
CHR, Community Health Resources, receives the grant. They are our fiscal agent, and a lot of coalitions have fiscal agents. This isn't a new concept, but they handle the grants management. So they're doing the fiscal side of the budget reporting and all that stuff. Thank God, because that's not something I wanted to be in charge of.
Sure.
So CHR is our grants manager as the fiscal agent. And so that's how that all works. I worked for CHR now straight out of college. So
yeah.
I don't want to age myself, but for like 22 years, I've been in this prevention field. Yes.
So you're ready to retire?
Ready to retire. No, I love it's funny. My son and I were listening to the radio and it was like something crazy. 70% of people are bored at their jobs, like at least 3 days a week. And you bored at your job? I said, never.
Neither am I.
Never.
Time to be bored.
Every day is different. I'm in the community one day. I'm behind the computer another day. Like I'm at the school one day. I love it. Every day is different. Yeah.
I say the average person has 2 or 3 careers now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Really?
I mean,
is that a real stat?
That's a real stat. Yeah.
The whole field of prevention has changed. So like my job completely changed within the same. I've had the same job, but it's completely changed. So when we first started, the field of prevention was we had the same grant, but we were working with like maybe 40 or 50 kids. And now we were working with at-risk kids, children of substance users or something like that, doing after school programming. And then the funding completely changed and they're like, nope, we're going to do environmental prevention. And that's where we're at now. The coalition works on environmental prevention strategies. So we utilize 7 strategies for community change. We utilize a strategic prevention framework. So our stuff is based on science and evidence based, and that's how we do it.
What do you say to people that because you have your detractors? You have your detractors.
Oh yeah, of course.
What do you say to your detractors in situations like it doesn't work?
Show me the data.
Okay.
Because we have it.
No. I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying. I mean, I'm on the other end of those emails too.
Yeah.
And I see so many things, and it's like, yeah, and
there's opinions, and then there's fact, and like I can provide facts. You have an opinion, you're entitled to your opinion, but unless you have data or experience to back your opinion, it's just an opinion.
Miranda, go. And it's great that you guys are still here.
Thank you.
Doing your thing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to test a microphone out, kind of incognito here.
It's not very incognito. Yeah.
Well, no, I know.
You're right on camera, but
I know. This is what happens when you can't afford a producer, you know? You just kind of, this is one of these newfangled wireless microphones. You can make any microphone wireless.
Very nice.
It is really cool. And this was one of these products that I got from receiving funds from the borough. When they had the ARPA funds that they were.
Yeah.
Because the borough gave a lot of money to businesses, right?
Yeah. And I was so thankful to be one of those recipients. So let's see if this works. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Uh-oh, there goes the camera.
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me okay?
Lima Charlie.
2 1 2. No, it's not going through the thing though.
No.
Why not? 1. Hold on.
Maybe you're going through your mic on your.
1 2. Yeah, I'm going through that. All right.
You gotta be on the same channel.
Huh?
Maybe the receiver and mic have to be on the same channel.
Oh.
That too.
Yeah. And I love it when things aren't wireless. Then you get the cloud on something. No, they are. That's the thing. They are on the same channel.
Is Dick flying in, or what's he doing? Is he riding in?
Landing a helicopter right here.
Huh.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's got to be a motorcade coming. I'm trying here to find out what the hell. To get it on the right channel. Because I've got green lights. I'm just waiting. I don't know why. Boom, boom, boom. That's true. See? They're both on the same channel, right?
I don't know if it was upside down. Or...
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Oh, the orientation was backwards.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm backwards.
That happens.
Still nothing. No, still nothing. Oh, darn it all. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. No, it's not doing it.
You can run a wire if you need to. Right?
Huh?
You can run a wire if we have to, right?
I know, but I don't know why this is not doing it.
I'm going to hop off. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today, and I hope you stay on to watch our live stream in a little bit.
How long before, do we know when Mr. Blumenthal's coming, or? Huh? We'll wait for the motorcade.
See if he knows where the side of the state is.
Huh? Richard. Do I have to sequester you?
Sequester me.
Let's see if this works. Here we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Tick-tock.
You don't stop. All right. So let's get to some comments here that we didn't get to when Miranda was here. Donna, good morning, Donna. He says your kids are following your lead by giving back to the community, also with their lemonade money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this one. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, maybe if I turned it on. Yeah, hold on. All right, I'm gonna go put this on the podium. We're just starting to set up here, so I know people get bored, then they split, because it's like, yeah, there are, but we want to. You might want to move the camera over here. It's a little crooked. So, for anybody that's waiting, we are currently just waiting for Senator Richard Blumenthal to get things all set. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and we're going to end this cast, and we will restart in a little bit when we start to get ready for Senator Blumenthal. Which I think. Wait a minute. Hold up. Yeah, it's going to be happening in a few minutes. So we'll be back in a minute right here on SNSN.